Love Don't Come Easy, Part 1 by Amelia Rucker. Chapter 2, 5 months earlier. Pulling up in her 2012 black Lexus that she drove, Diamond became filled with excitement. She felt like a child with a new toy. Rushing out of her car to see her husband and son, Diamond took out the house key, unlocking the front door to her 3-bedroom house. Her sons ran to her like she was coming home from a trip. "Mama!" they screamed excited. "My babies!" Diamond greeted them warmly, wrapping her arms around their tiny frames. Embracing her children in her arms was the best feeling in the world. Being a nurse may have been her dream career, but being a mother to her children was her main priority. Her children brought joy like no one else did. "Where's your father?" Diamond asked Nigel. "Daddy went upstairs. He did not even tell me hello," Nigel said. "He didn't say hello?" Something isn't right, Diamond thought. "No, Mommy. Daddy has been acting strangely. I don't think Daddy loves us anymore." "Oh, don't say that, sweetie. Sometimes grown-ups face tough times in life. He may just be having a bad day. You stay right here. Mommy will be right back." A chill ran down her spine as she raced upstairs in her heels. Her concerns regarding her husband deepened. She was much younger than he was. Diamond had many thoughts running through her mind. Did he get fired from his job? Was he sick? Did someone in his family die? She thought. Whatever the problem was, for one thing, it was certainly not what she was thinking. When Diamond opened the door, she was stricken with shock. 2 suitcases were packed, and both belonged to her husband. Newt glanced at his wife like she was a stranger he had met in the streets. "Where are you going?" she asked, standing in the doorway. Her hands instinctively gripped the walls to keep from falling to her knees. "Far from you, Nigel, and everybody else in this family," he spat with authority. "You're leaving? Why? What did I do?" The sorrow began to build her chest and threatened to pull from her eyes in the form of tears. His rich Kenyan skin and slanted eyes held no resemblance of the man he used to be. He clenched his hands as if it disgusted him to even speak to her. The handsome man of her dreams was turning into a nightmare. Even with his rude attitude, he still carried his sexy appearance, wearing his dark blue Italian custom-made suit that sported expensive cufflinks, and his dreads defined his masculine jawline. "I'm not happy here with you anymore. My whole marriage has been nothing but a lie. I married you for security. The only attractive thing about you is your bank account. I don't want Nigel, Kai, or the others either. I never wanted them, to be honest. So you can keep them. I only would take all of what's mine out of the account. The truth of the matter is I never loved you. Or those little mama boys," he said, grabbing his suitcase. "What? I love you, though. Are you serious?" "Do I look like I'm joking? I'm dead serious." He prepared to walk past her, so Diamond took the opportunity to reach out to him. "Wait, can we talk this out first?" she pleaded with watery eyes. Her husband snatched away from her grasp. "Do not touch me. There is nothing to talk about. My decision is final. Good luck with your life," he said, continuing to make his exit and leaving his heartbroken wife standing in the bedroom they once shared. Feeling defeated, Diamond decided not to pursue after him. Divorce. Her heart began to ache worse than an arrow being driven through her chest. She could not believe it. Never would she expect to become a divorcee. At this time, collapsing to the floor and crying her eyes out was all that she could do. The unbreakable pain in her heart weakened her knees. "What have I done to deserve this? I am a good wife. I make an honest living. Why, God?" The thoughts of being unworthy to every man she gave her heart to were tearing her pride. She clutched her chest while leaning forward on her knees. Deep breaths turned into shallow pants as they escaped her mouth. Sharp pains entered her chest like knives relentlessly stabbing her. God help me. Why does this have to happen to me? I did everything for him. Now my marriage has failed. Little did she know, 4 little brown eyes glared at her. Nigel hated to see his mother sad and hurt. He wrapped his arms around her as she clutched her chest like she was having a heart attack. Kai's eyes even formed tears. Mama, are you okay? Nigel asked, choking on tears. Call 911, Diamond demanded. Doing what his mother told him to do, Nigel ran downstairs to grab the cordless phone and called for the ambulance. Panicking himself, Nigel took deep breaths so that he could be strong for Diamond. God, please don't let me lose my mom. I'm not always a good boy, but I love her. The young boy prayed, holding his mother's hand with all his might. 911, what is your emergency? The operator asked. My mom is having some kind of attack. Please, I need someone ASAP, Nigel pleaded. After giving the operator the address, Nigel knelt down behind Diamond, collapsing his hands together. God, I may be young. I have no idea what is going on, but I am asking for strength to stay calm. Whatever made my mama this way, please keep it away from her, even if that something is my daddy. Diamond was impressed as she listened to him pray just the way she had taught him to. She had instructed him the same way her mother had done her, telling Nigel not to only pray whenever trouble comes, but throughout all the days of his life. He held her hand until the ambulance showed up to whisk Diamond away. Where's my daughter? Asked the panicking angelic voice. I am sorry, ma'am, but who's your daughter? The nurse asked. Diamond King, Amelia stated as she placed her monogrammed handkerchief over her face. She hated hospitals, even though she frequented them with her ministry. She is in room 230, the nurse answered, taking a moment to point down the corridor. Thank you, Amelia said, turning on her heels and nearly racing in her patent leather shoes. Diamond is a good woman. Why in God's name would she be going through this? As she finally reached the room, Amelia was not just glad to see Diamond, but her grandsons as well. Her heart smiled at the thought of seeing them, even if it was under such bad circumstances. Mama, who told you I was here? Diamond asked sharply. One of my beloved grandsons. She winked at Nigel before taking off her coat. The chillings in the room had nothing to do with the temperature. I did, Mother, Nigel nervously answered. I don't need the whole family up here. I am doing just fine with you and the boys. Amelia ignored her, hugging Nigel and Kai. Well, it is a blessing to see my grandboys sticking by their mother, my dynamic duo. I teach your grandkids to stay tight. I don't need them to be uptight. Amelia nodded her head in understanding as she pulled her chair closer to the bed. When Amelia collapsed one of Diamond's hands, Diamond wanted to pull it back. Through every heartbroken moment that my daughter had experienced, thank you, God, for letting me be here with her. Anger wanted to spread across her mind, but sweet sympathy was filling in her heart with love and concern. Nothing is better than family, and no matter how broken she may feel, please show her that you can mend the broken pieces. Help her to, Mom, I came as soon as I heard. Diamond's oldest son, Dion announced, running into the room and racing frantically to her bedside. He never even acknowledged his grandmother, who was giving him a full-on scowl. What are you going to do? If he wants a divorce, then I will be just fine. The idea of being a single parent doesn't scare me. Don't worry, I will be fine raising Nigel and Kai with God's help. Mother, I am not alone. Dion admitted. What do you mean you ain't alone? Boy, I hope you didn't bring Mark crazy behind in here, Amelia retorted. That would be tragic. Besides, I brought 2 other angels with me. Dion hopped up and headed for the door. When he opened the door, 2 young men whom Nigel and Diamond recognized walked inside the room. Their rich, dark skin was blemish-free. The 2 older boys had long dreads that were neat. Hey, Mama D, little Nuke greeted. Hey, son, Diamond greeted back. She smiled at the young lad. He might have been a clone of his father, but his mannerism was full of person. Boy, you've grown to be a fine young man. I pray you stay that way, Amelia commented. Yes, ma'am. He flashed his pearly white smile. Hello, Emmanuel, the second oldest, greeted. Hello, Emmanuel. The other 2 boys hugged Amelia. She remembered when little Nuke and Emmanuel were younger. Diamond was indeed preparing to become a stepmother at the time. You're going to need help. Let us be there for you. I can help, Dion assured his mother. You have your own business to run. I got this, Diamond replied. Mama, let us help you. Forget the business, Dion stated. I wish my child would have just listened to me. I tried to give my child so many warnings. Now here she is upstaged by a man. Amelia wanted to say, I told you so, because she saw this moment coming. However, now was not the time, since her grandsons were present, but she was definitely going to get her point across. Diamond, let your sons help you. I remember in my army days, I was helping my mother out with my siblings before your uncle left to join himself. There is nothing wrong with allowing family to be there when you need them, Amelia told her. Diamond looked at her mother, who was a much older version of herself. She knew her mother was right, but she was also meddling. Mother, my son is very busy, and being a burden on him is what I refuse to be, Diamond told her mother. You're not going to be a burden to him. Gosh, you remind me of myself. I told my parents the same thing. You can tell we are mother and daughter, Amelia stated. I know, but, Diamond began to say, there are no buts. We are family. The last time I checked, family helps family. Stubborn as a mole and like her mother, Diamond laid back and thought about what her mother told her. Come on, boys. I think your mother needs some rest, Amelia asserted as she stood up to leave. She headed the boys out of the room, not giving them a chance to say goodbye. Finally alone, Diamond looked towards the ceiling and stared at the dim hospital lights. Excuse me, y'all. Lord, I don't mean to push people away. I know my family cares about me for the most part, but I just want to hear your voice. You know the reason that all of this happened, and you know what can be fixed. Please be with me as I transition into becoming a single mother. Please allow me to be wrapped up in you so that I don't need to allow hurt. Please give me my joy back. I don't want to be one of those women that never forgives or loves again. Please help me not to look like what I have been through. At this point, she could hardly speak. Tears were saturating her face at a rapid pace. She was about to say amen when a knock on the door startled her. Come in, she answered. The nurse walked in cautiously. I didn't mean to disturb you. However, I need to check your blood pressure. Are you okay? It looks as if you have been crying. I was in the middle of prayer, but yes, I am okay. The nurse looked as if she wanted to say more. Nevertheless, she kept her thought to herself. After checking Diamond's blood pressure, she left the room. Diamond finished her prayer and drifted off to sleep. This can't be life, she thought. All right. Like I said, I'm going to try to do these every day. That's the end of chapter 2. Yes, it is. Some of these chapters are short, y'all. So if they're short, than the other, then yes, I'll probably do two of them in one day. But yes, I just get up in here. Well, this is another one of my fellow Christian authors' book. Her name is Danielle Scoggins. She's also a minister. But yes, so I'm giving her some time too. Some moment to. I'm gonna rehost it. Well, I think I've read one already, but yeah. But yes, so may God continue to keep you all. May He bless you all. Be blessed.